Hello and welcome. In this video, we'll explore some key features of short essays in English. We'll look at two basic structures, the 5-paragraph and 8-paragraph formats, and take a closer look at how introductions and conclusions are typically written. To do this, we'll use an example essay titled Navigating New Horizons, The Experience of an International Student in North America by Jen Menai. The 5-paragraph essay is one of the most common short essay formats in English. You've probably heard about it before. It includes 3 main body paragraphs, each one focused on a single idea. These ideas are introduced in the first paragraph, the introduction, and summarized again in the final paragraph, the conclusion. In the article Navigating New Horizons, The Experience of an International Student in North America, these 3 ideas are adapting to the educational system in North America, cultural adaptation as another essential aspect of studying abroad, and forming friendships and building a supporting social network. These ideas are developed in paragraphs 2, 3, and 4, but they're first introduced in paragraph 1 and then brought together again in paragraph 5. English-speaking writers sometimes organize their ideas based on strength, either starting with the strongest argument or building up to it. In the case of Navigating New Horizons, all 3 ideas seem equally important. That's why the author organizes them as a progression, starting with academic life, then moving into cultural adaptation, and finally to building friendships, moving from the classroom outward into daily life. As we said at the start of the video, the most typical structure or length for a short essay in English is that of 5 paragraphs. Writers discuss 3 ideas in separate paragraphs and provide a beginning or introductory paragraph and a summary or closing one. Some short essays follow a slightly longer structure, 8 paragraphs instead of 5. The logic is the same, but each main idea is explored in 2 paragraphs instead of 1. So it goes like this. Paragraph 1, Introduction. Paragraphs 2 and 3, First idea. Paragraphs 4 and 5, Second idea. Paragraphs 6 and 7, Third idea. And paragraph 8, Conclusions. This format gives writers more room to develop their ideas, while still keeping the overall structure familiar and easy to follow. Let's now focus on some key characteristics of introductions and conclusions. Introductions generally show 4 writing strategies. These are an eye-opening statement or generalization, a quotation from another author, a thought-provoking question, and a summary of the topics to be discussed. In the article Navigating New Horizons, the author does not use any quotation or a thought-provoking question. So the strategies used by the author of this article are an eye-opening statement or generalization and a summary of the topics to be discussed. For example, the first sentence, studying abroad is an exciting and life-changing experience for many international students, but it also comes with challenges, is a generalization or a statement that opens the eyes or captures the attention of the readers. The third sentence, in this short essay, we will discuss 3 of those adjustments: adapting to a different educational system, overcoming cultural differences, and building a supportive social network. The sentence enumerates or summarizes the topics that will be discussed in the article. So again, out of the 4 common strategies used in introductions, the writer of Navigating New Horizons has chosen a generalization and a summary of the aspects that will be discussed in the article. And these are the 2 basic strategies that you will be required to use for short and less complex essays. In both short and long essays, introductions usually move from general to specific. That's why we say the introduction follows the shape of an inverted pyramid or triangle. You begin with a broad or attention-grabbing statement, then move to a more focused one, and finally present the most specific sentence, often called the blueprint. In Navigating New Horizons, the author does this very clearly. First, she writes, studying abroad is an exciting and life-changing experience, but it also comes with challenges. That's a broad general statement. Then she narrows it down. In North America, these challenges often include academic, cultural, and social adjustments. This sentence announces that the essay will discuss those experiences in North America, which is less general than abroad and also introduces the areas to be discussed. And finally, in this short essay, we will discuss 3 of those adjustments: adapting to a different educational system, overcoming cultural differences, and building a supportive social network. That specific statement is also called the blueprint. the sentence that enumerates the contents of the essay and prepares us for what we are about to read. So remember, the ideas in the introduction or first paragraph of a short essay in English should be organized from the most general to the most specific ones. That is why we use the analogy of the inverted pyramid or triangle to show that arguments progress from the broader to the narrowest, from the general to the specific. Now we will talk about the conclusions or the last paragraph of the short essay. These are generally a restatement, not a duplicate of the thesis statement. That is the most general idea that the essay discusses. And they are also a restatement and not a duplicate of the main points of the essay. So keep in mind two things when writing your conclusions. First, refer to general ideas or points in the article, but not to specific details or examples. And second, conclusions refer to things you have already mentioned in the article, meaning that you are not supposed to come up with ideas you have not discussed before. Since they are restatements of key ideas, you should make sure your conclusions refer to things that were announced in the introduction. We will show you how the author of Navigating New Horizons achieves this. In the next slides, please pay attention to color coding. The statements in the introduction will appear on a yellow background, and the restatements in the conclusions will appear on a light blue background. In the introduction, the author says, "Studying abroad is an exciting and life-changing experience for many international students, but it also comes with challenges." This is restated in the conclusions as, "For many, studying abroad becomes a transformative experience that not only broadens their academic horizons, but also shapes them into more globally minded individuals." The introductory statement, "Studying abroad is an exciting and life-changing experience for many international students, but it also comes with challenges," is also restated in the conclusions as, "The journey of an international student in North America is filled with both challenges and opportunities for growth." In the introduction of the article, the author says, "In North America, these challenges often include academic, cultural, and social adjustments." Now observe how in the conclusions the author used cultural differences instead of cultural adjustments, establishing a social network instead of social adjustments, and resilience or openness to change, to refer to how these challenges can be met. Finally, see how the author uses adapting to a different educational system in both the introduction and the conclusions, navigating instead of overcoming and establishing instead of building when referring to a supportive social network. To sum up, short essays in English follow predictable structures, often 5 or 8 paragraphs. Introductions move from general to specific. Conclusions restate, not repeat, the key points. Understanding this structure can help you write more confidently and recognize good writing when you see it. Goodbye.